My fellow Dominicans, the United Nations General Assembly has proclaimed 16th September as the International Day for the Preservation of the Ozone Layer, to commemorate the date in 1987 on which the Montreal Protocol on substances that deplete the ozone layer was adopted. Today, the 16th of September 2009, we again observe the International Day for the Preservation of the Ozone Layer. The theme for this year's observance is Universal Participation. Ozone protection unifies the world. The essence of this year's theme, the world uniting around one environmental cause, the protection of the ozone layer, should be shared with the public at large. The ozone layer in the upper atmosphere is a filter preventing harmful quantities of the sun's ultraviolet radiation from reaching the Earth's surface. This filter has been affected due to the use of a few dozen man-made chemicals which, when released in the atmosphere, damage the protective ozone layer. When the ozone layer is thinned and damaged, more harmful ultraviolet radiation will reach the Earth's surface. Some of these damaging chemicals are used in refrigerators, air conditioning units, and some fire extinguishers. Some are also being used in the industrial processes and also in agricultural production for killing pests, especially insects. Overexposure to direct solar ultraviolet radiation is of severe risks for human health, such as ultraviolet rays can harm our skin and eyes. They can also weaken our immune system. This is the reason why increased ultraviolet radiation due to the ozone layer depletion is a threat to our health. Ultraviolet radiation causes skin cancer and can also wrinkle your skin to make you look older than you are. Overexposure can also cause eye cataracts that can lead to preventable blindness. Overexposure weakens the human body's resistance to disease. The most vulnerable are the children. Plants, particularly food crops, as well as animals and the marine environment. High ultraviolet radiation slows the germination processes and also kills planktons, the basic food supply for fishes. There are affordable alternative chemicals for all the ozone-depleting substances, and the substitutes don't harm the ozone layer. Countries of the world have made a legal commitment to phase out the production and usage of all types of ozone-depleting substances through the Montreal Protocol on substances that deplete the ozone layer. Industrialized countries have already met these targets, and developing countries have until 2010. The government of the Commonwealth of Dominica became a signatory to the Montreal Protocol on March 31, 1993. In 1998, the country program to phase out ozone-depleting substances was developed to reflect the government's commitment to its obligation as a party to the protocol. Although Dominica does not produce ozone-depleting substances and consumes only a small amount relative to developed countries, it still has a role to play within the global community. As a country operating under paragraph 1 of the Article 5 of the protocol, Dominica is required to freeze its consumption of ozone-depleting substances under the protocol by July 1, 1999 to the former average level 1995 to 1997. Reduce consumption of controlled substances to 50% by 2005. Reduce consumption of 15% of the 1999 level by 2007, and phase out completely ozone-depleting substances by 2010. The Montreal Protocol is succeeding, but it is not yet a final success. There is still much work left to be done before this environmental treaty can be proclaimed successful. The Montreal Protocol is an example of international environmental treaty that works. It is an example where multilateral approach is used to restore a global environmental problem. It has many lessons that could be shared with other environmental and sustainable development concerns. These include meaningful commitment by both developing and developed countries, avoiding problems by taking precautionary measures, and providing international support for national actions. With such grave consequences to life on Earth, the Commonwealth of Dominica has taken a strong stance and asserts itself as a leader in the international effort to phase out ozone-depleting substances. Some of the major activities undertaken are as follows: the enactment of the Montreal Protocol, Substances that Deplete the Ozone Layer Bill and Regulations in 2006, the imposition of a national ban on the importation and consumption of CFC-based refrigerants and systems that contain them, the terminal phase-out management plan of ozone-depleting substances, the formation of Dominica's Association of Refrigeration and Air Conditioning as a legal entity with its constitution, bylaws, and codes of good practice, the procurement and distribution of appropriate tools and equipment for the association for better implementation of its good practices in refrigeration and air conditioning, and national training for refrigeration technicians, customs officers, and other law enforcement agencies in the identification and monitoring of trade in ozone-depleting substances, respectively. Meanwhile, we all need to cut down on time spent in the sun or cover ourselves as much as possible when we have to work or play outdoors. Sunglasses, sun protection lotions, large hats, and umbrellas can all help protect us from harmful ultraviolet rays. As the nature island of the Caribbean, Dominica must demonstrate its commitment to environmental and sustainable development initiatives, such as the protection of the ozone layer. Let us all ensure that by our actions, we do not contribute to the destruction of the ozone layer. Let's save the ozone layer, for every action counts. I thank you.